Welcome to the A Monday Moment with Dr. Mal podcast, where each week I, Dr. Mal, share life lessons and motivation to kickstart your Monday. Whether you're starting your day or winding down, join me or me and my future guest for a burst of positivity and a fresh perspective. Let's make Mondays meaningful together. Greetings and happy Monday, everyone. I'm your host, Dr. Mallory D. McCoy, and welcome to this week's episode of A Monday Moment with Dr. Mal. As always, may this broadcast bring you what you need in the present moment. May my light exude positivity and kindness, and may my love be extended to all who could use a little extra. Ashe, let's seize the moment. My gratitude this week is really simple. I have had a wonderful opportunity arise and come my way, and I'm really excited about it. I can't talk a lot about it right now until everything is finalized, but I'm grateful to feel the feeling of having my dreams come true. Oftentimes, we are told not to dream too big, or we are told when we talk about our dreams and how big they are, we have doubters around us that give us energy that doubts ourselves. And I have refuted that energy as of late. And when I decided that I was going to refute that energy and I was not going to let it be a part of my paradigm, it is then that my fear began to melt, my self-doubt began to melt, and things have started happening. So I'm just so grateful to be in this space of my dreams coming true. And I just know that there's more to come. And really, that's it. That's the post. That's what I'm grateful for this week. So thank you for allowing me to off-put my gratefulness onto you every week about my life. And I hope that you are just as grateful about the things that are happening in your life. Now, you know, I love me a good definition, and I'm a team hashtag facts over feelings. So let's get into it. This episode, I'm talking about something very beautiful. I think it's very beautiful. We're giving homage and honoring and just loving on our seasoned population, aka the elders. And did you know that in many cultures, elders are considered living libraries, the keepers of wisdom and tradition? And when we were more in a matriarchal energy, the elder woman was the head of the village, and she had the most insight and the direct connection to God. In African cultures, elders are often regarded as the roots of the family tree, grounding and nurturing the family unit. They serve as advisors, storytellers, and spiritual leaders. In indigenous cultures worldwide, elders play similar roles, passing down oral traditions, teaching younger generations, and serving as stewards of their community's values. Yet, in the modern society, particularly in this Western culture that we have here in the United States, there's been such a shift. Elders are often overlooked or dismissed, especially in fast-paced environments where youth and speed are prioritized. That's something I think that we can all work on reversing. The wisdom of our elders is a resource that we cannot afford to lose. And so that brings me to the topic of the week. We're talking about something that I believe, again, is critical to our collective growth, healing, and legacy. And that is truly giving our elders their flowers. And by flowers, I mean recognition, respect, and gratitude and love while they're still here to receive it. So often, we wait too long to show appreciation to anyone that we love, but especially the people that have come before us. So today, we're going to dive into why honoring our elders matters and how we can make it a regular part of our lives. I'll be honest with y'all, this topic is personal to me because when I think about elders, and I think about my elders, my grandparents, great aunts and uncles, and other influential adults I've had in my life that are here in this realm and have transitioned beyond this realm, I realize how much of who I am is because of them in positive ways and in not so positive ways. So, from the time that I was little, there was always adults around me doing adult things. I would get to hear their stories while in the midst of adult conversations, and I would get to hear them just speak to me, and I would get to see their actions and witness their actions and how they conducted themselves. Their perspectives on a lot of things were incredibly important for me to absorb because their perspective of their life mattered. Through their words and actions, I learned about their tough experiences and resilience, what behaviors I wanted to emulate or avoid, and about other ancestors that they experienced. And I am grateful that I got a chance to do that. Even the adversive experiences that I had while dealing with the adults in my life, I'm grateful for. But I will also admit there were times that I took these moments for granted. I was a kid. I mean, and even as an adult, we do every day. We take things for granted. Sometimes we move through life just assuming the people that are in our lives currently will always be there to share their wisdom or to tell another story. Throughout my life, I've experienced a lot of loss and a lot of grief. Through loss and through grief, I've certainly learned lessons about how my thought process should be when I'm thinking about people, because we're only here for a short time. People are irreplaceable and we're only here for a short time. So I cannot stress enough, don't wait. Don't wait to tell people that you appreciate them, even if there is distance in communication between you and someone. Just sit, listen to their stories, tell them that you love them, ask for their advice, because one day the opportunity just won't be there anymore and you'll have to hear their voice in a different way. So, why does giving our elders their flowers matter? First, it's about legacy. Our elders are the bridges between our past and future. So, by honoring them, we are preserving our history and ensuring future generations have a roadmap. Second, it's about healing. Many elders have carried the weight of their families, communities, and even societal injustices on their back. I know mine have, and not just my elders, my parents as well. So acknowledging their sacrifices can be profoundly healing for them and for us. Yeah, because we don't want history to repeat itself. Furthermore, how can we know how to authentically move forward without knowing where we came from? And so, lastly, it's about connection. In a world where generational divides are growing, giving our elders their flowers creates opportunities for intergenerational learning and understanding. It's a reminder that we're all connected and that we all have so much to learn from one another. And another personal anecdote, I actually have three grandparents that are still alive, and I love talking to them. I was this summer when I was on a road trip, I called them and talked to them, and I got to talk to them for an hour each. So I was really grateful. So, my call to action for you this week is simply to connect with your elders in your family and in our community, because believe it or not, there are a lot of elders who are only interacting with people in their paradigm if they're sick. Then they're only interacting with the nurses and other people in the residential facilities, and they're just not getting able to experience life through the lens of others, even though it's important for us to experience life how they experienced it through their lens. It's equally as important for them to experience life through our lens. And so here's a list of few ways that we can do that. Number one, be intentional about spending time. Like I said, set aside some time to visit or even call the elders in your life and listen to their stories. Like, listen to their stories and take it with you. Ask about their experience and just be present, being present in every moment. Number two, I would suggest that you document their wisdom. With my grandparents' permission, I would really love to record them, and not just for me, but for my kids. I would like to have an audio recording. Back before cell phones were a thing, my grandmother passed away in the early 2000s, and oftentimes I struggle with remembering what her voice sounded like. And so if I would have had a recording of her voice, then I would have been able to, you know, access that recording again so I could hear what her voice sounds like. So currently, I told you my grandfather is still alive and he has the best stories. He's a Vietnam War vet and he's 80 years old. And so he has a ton of stories that he's able to share. And so, like I said, I need to call him again and ask him, can I record the conversation so that I can have his voice and his stories in my collection. Number 3, celebrate the milestones. Don't wait for a funeral. I hate that we do that. Don't wait for the funeral to gather family and celebrate your elders. Host a dinner, throw a party, or simply write them a heartfelt letter. You know how I feel about handwritten letters. My side of the family is horrible at getting together. I think there are some conversations that we've avoided that we just need to have to heal our family. But until then, I'll be yearning for the day that we can get together because I really miss them. But and not just celebrate, don't get together to just celebrate the elders, get together to celebrate each other. And then advocate for all elders' well-being, because I've heard abhorrent stories of elders facing challenges from health issues to social isolation. When they get into these residential facilities, they're not being treated properly or treated with the care that they deserve. So if you are an advocate and you want to be their voice and you can think forward and be like, well, I would want to be in that situation, use your voice. Use your penmanship to write letters to make ensure that they're being cared for, or just you physically going to check on the people in the residential facilities. Of course, you do need a background check, but that's easy to get. Go check on them. And then lastly, incorporating their teaching. So the best way to honor someone is to live by the values and lessons they have imparted. And like I said earlier, some of the lessons that our elders have are not applicable to the time that we're experiencing right now, but take what you can from their lesson and reapply it, because really it doesn't matter the time, the same things are happening over and over again. Okay. And so grasp the lesson that you're supposed to get from their anecdote, and then let their wisdom shape your future decisions. So, right now, I want you to think of an elder in your life, whether it be a family member, a mentor, or someone in your community. And I would just encourage you to reach out to them right now. No day like today, since you're thinking about them. No time like right now, since you're thinking about them, and give them their flowers in whatever way feels meaningful for you. And those of you who do not have elders close to you, consider connecting with organizations that support seniors or volunteering at a senior center. There are so many ways to show love and appreciation. One way that I love to spend time with the seasoned population is to bring kids into their presence, because I know that they don't get to spend a lot of time with kids. And so, as I'm currently working with a children's choir, one thing that we're going to be doing this week, this Saturday, is going to a residential facility, and we're going to be singing Christmas carols. And then after we sing the Christmas carols, we interact with the residents, and the facility actually feeds us hot cocoa, cookies. This year they said they'd have hot dogs. It's just a really good interaction. The kids enjoyed it last year, and I enjoy it every year, because just listening to the residents and how it affects them. I mean, some of them even leave the situation in tears because it sparks a memory that they've had from times past about their own life, or something that they've experienced. And so it's just a really good time. It fills me up every time. And as we wrap up today, I'll leave you with a couple of quotes But I also want to leave you with this thought. Our elders are treasures, so we have to treat them as such. And let's honor them, let's preserve their legacies, and show them the love that they deeply deserve. Here's our quote for this week. I actually have a couple of them. The first one is, "Those who respect the elderly pave their own road towards success." And that's an African proverb. And then another African proverb that I was able to find about the caregivers or the people interacting with the seniors, it says, "A youth that does not cultivate friendship with the elderly is like a tree without roots." Mm, 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 mm. Imagine that. And then I was able to pull some affirmations, but not just for seniors or just for people interacting with seniors, but for both. So if you are someone of the seasoned population and you are listening to this podcast, we honor you. We love you. We thank you for the life that you have led. And I hope that you're able to use these affirmations and remember these affirmations to know that you are valued and you are just a wonderful presence here on this earth. And so, something that you can tell yourself every day: my life is taking place here right now. Staying in the presence really, or staying in the present moment really helps us to cultivate a meaningful life. Every day, I find happiness and comfort even in the little things. I release any negative thoughts that do not serve me. No matter what my age is, every day is a new opportunity to change my life. I am always excited to see what the next day brings. Absolutely. That's that that affirmation can be for anyone. And then lastly, I have learned and grown in many ways as I have entered my golden years. I am proud of the changes I have made and the person I have become. And just what a great, or what a blessing to be able to have reached your golden years. So giving gratitude for every day, every moment, every second that you get to breathe is just amazing. And then for those who may interact with on a daily basis or on a temporary basis with seniors, sometimes it's not the easiest thing. Sometimes it is easy, but sometimes it's not. So they may need help, but they're really grown. So that's really the difficult part. It's like, well, you used to take care of me, and now I'm having to take care of you, but you're an adult and you are able to make decisions. I'm rambling, but I've experienced working. I've watched family members work with the senior population in my family, and then I recently had to work with someone really close to me that's older than me that used to take care of me, and now the roles have reversed. And so I know how difficult it can be. Here are some affirmations to help carry you through that. I play a vital role in my loved one's health, and what I do is important. I am strong and courageous and can overcome challenges. I'm allowed to tend to my emotional, mental, and physical well being without feeling guilty because it makes me a better caregiver when I do. That's so important because taking care of someone else, you can often forget yourself, but it's important for you to take care of yourself because you can't pour from an empty cup. And then lastly, I am allowed to ask for help. It only makes me stronger. Yes, 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 absolutely. Well, that's all for me this week. I'm forever honored that you tuned in. And next week, I will actually be having a show. I have avoided talking about politics on this show directly. I've even avoided talking about this last election because, baby, the way that my piece is set up and the way that I protect it is important to me. So I've avoided talking about it, but there have been some things and conversations that have come up as of late that I want to address. And I specifically want to address Black women because those of you who know me and know me very well know that I am team Black woman and I'm team empowerment. I'm team uplift. I'm team take care of Black women because we're often forgotten. So next week is an episode for everybody, but it actually is a question for my melanated queens. And the question is, are you okay, sis? So I'm doing a whole show about, are you okay, sis? So until then, love and peace to all of you. Have the best week. Thank you for tuning in for a Monday Moment with Dr. Mal, now proudly a part of the Alive Podcast Network. You can find this show on the Live Podcast Network website and app, and you can find this podcast streaming across your favorite podcast streaming platforms. If you love to have the visual, you can tune into my YouTube channel, When Mallory Lives, to see this show and catch up on all my shows from the beginning.